Welcome back. What a quick break.
To a very unique, brand new scenario.
Mm-hmm.
We are playing the same team again.
Yes, once more into the breach, dear friends. We are going against NAU one more time, and it looks on the other side of the bracket. University of Idaho was queued up to go against UC Davis. They ended up forfeiting, so UC Davis is already into the championship, and whoever wins this will go into the championship, which, similar to Rocket League, the winner will qualify for a LAN in Waco, Texas.
Which is very exciting for them.
Yes.
So, very, very cool things at stake here
Yeah.
to win this match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is an achievable goal. Like this is, if you had asked me a year ago, I thought, well, that would have been great, but probably a couple years out. And we're already there. We're already competing at that level. And I think as long as the team continues to stay in that positive mental space, continues to communicate, because there are some games where we've had our Overwatch team where it is silent over there.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of just doing their own thing. Today, they've been loud, they've been shouting, they've been screaming, all of which has shown direct benefits.
Exactly. Like, even between matches, we're hearing a lot more conversation and just talk and chatter and just like laughing together. They're very they're locked in.
Yeah.
They're locked in as a team right now going into this.
If I can use a phrase that I certainly shouldn't, being 33, the vibes are super chill right now. Peak vibes out here.
Yeah. I don't got anything else to that, bro.
I am being told that I do not pass the vibe check. Good news, I haven't ever at any point in my life.
He's not going to start now.
No, that'd be
You got a 33-year-old streak to keep up.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I like to think that I could have been in a different life someone that was cool. Certainly not
I don't
this
know,
one.
man. Currently sat for, casting for a college esport team. I think that's pretty.
Look, I love it. I love what I get to do. It is incredible.
No, I did too.
I don't think many people consider that cool.
Objectively.
So it looks like we do have the first bans in. ISU, not surprising, banning that Jetpack Cat. And for NAU, also not surprising, banning that Vendetta.
First round here, just like, we'll just get them out of the way. We'll see their utility come back later, but, testing the waters again. We're still right off that last round.
Yeah.
So I assume that this is probably going to be a pretty intense round.
And it looks like perhaps that first starting map is only for round robin play, because looking at the game lobby, it looks like we're going into Oasis.
And that ain't
so
Samoa.
I would guess that the lower seed, the seed that is closer to the number 0, gets to choose the map.
That would probably make sense. I don't think I've seen ISU really play Oasis. I enjoy Oasis.
I do too.
It's a pretty good one. I feel like it's a little underrated.
There
for
are
the control maps.
I don't think there's a single control map that I dislike. The closest one is probably Samoa.
Oh, what I think is Nepal's control, right?
Yes.
Nepal, I think, is the one I don't like.
Okay.
I do not care for Nepal.
That's fair.
That's the only one I don't like. The rest of them are normally fine or like, no, that's really good. And I think that Oasis is really good. I enjoy Oasis a lot. I'm glad we get to be here.
And here we're starting off. It looks like I think our team names at the top need to get swapped here. But average pillow on that tank, still starting with that domino roll. Lemonade, of course, with that Sojourn. It is a little interesting. We haven't seen her on Ron at all today, but
Sojourn's been working pretty good for her.
Hard to complain based on how she has played.
Exactly.
Huge with that venture because that Vendetta is banned, and then we have Swagger Egg. Oh, what an excellent
on that
start.
Lucio. I'm not sure what that Lucio was doing right there. That seems odd positioning.
Now, we did get a lot of damage onto almost everybody from ISU, but they were able to reposition, re-heal up, and now it looks like that first point is going to be ISU.
Yeah, we saw Toad on that Genji here trying to rush in, didn't follow close enough with the Lucio to like get any value out of a 2v5, and also wasn't able to get out of dodge in time and did have to go down there. So,
Genji on the corner here looking to test. Going against the 2v1 and
Lemonade's
then is
just
joined.
melting them.
Lemonade said, how about you get back to spawn?
Exactly, just holding that corner as we're about fifth of the way through this first point.
And NAU has not been able to push Mutt very far at all. We've seen that Genji and that Lucio try to establish a little bit of a foothold, but there's just been so much damage from this venture, from this Domina, and there's Lucio going out on his own yet again.
Oh, this time the Genji's not that far behind. I did see Huge there testing the waters out ahead and going, no, there's a Lucio in the back line behind the shield. I should probably go
don't know
to.
if Venture meant to go down into that hole or not. Lemonade in the 1v1 versus the Lucio. Getting booped, goes back down, very low on health. Everybody on ISU is very, very low, but there's no follow-up damage.
There hasn't been a kill on ISU yet. All that's been destroyed is the mortality field. And that same cannot be said for NAU. Yeah, here comes Huge as the Venture, scoping it out a little bit. Already with the first ultimate with Cartman using that Panopticon, which we'll see doesn't seem to have gotten too much usage, even in terms of damage. We also have Diane using the Baptiste.
And Lemonade doing what Lemonade does, kill that Lucio. I think that is the third or fourth kill that they have been able to get onto Lucio.
Beautifully done.
And it just stops the entire push in its spike. We're at 90%. We're in final fight territory already for NAU.
Yeah, Wet Noodle popping that Kitsune Rush. We have the Dragon Blade. We also have Average Pillow. Every I'm not reading them all out. Every single ultimate is currently being used except for Huge's because they're dead.
NAU incredibly low. NAU is just falling like flies. There is a Genji left on point, and that is it. And then in response, we have Lemonade and Domina. Just now Domina. Domina on the point against this Genji. It looks like Lucio has returned. So now this is a 2v1. Then Domina's still alive, still holding this point. Overtime is ticking. If they get off this point for a second, they're going to die. Genji gets another kill.
Dodging around this point here. Domina is not as mobile. They do manage to get her down there, but we are still at 99.
Holy cow, what an incredible play from that Genji. I think they got 3 or 4 kills, one after the other.
I think leaving the point briefly there also to just go and leave it to Lucio for a second to dodge around that Domina who isn't as mobile to keep up and keep the rest of the team from quite touching point and supporting her definitely gave them control. Now, but we'll see if they can keep it up.
NAU does have their sound barrier. I imagine that's going to get popped in response to Venture, as it exactly is. Now NAU moving forward. Lucio
melting
down.
The Lucio, and a Huge using that to come back to the team, and then followed up by rushing back on the side here.
ISU does have numbers advantage, but they can't get greedy here. They've got to make sure that they're playing around corners. Lemonade gets that kill on that Genji. It is now down to a 3v5. Lucio is near back. Looks like Lucio is back, and then immediately back to spawn.
Immediately back to spawn. Cartman did pop out that Panopticon again, but once more, I don't know if it did enough of a damage, a noticeable damage increase. And we're seeing a lot of kills here. Just that Genji left alive right now, which is gets booped off.
Not a second hero play, Genji. Not a second hero play. Not allowed.
Not this time. Average Pillow has learned. That'll be first point, first round.
Yeah.
To ISU, which is a great start going into the second round of this map.
And I mean, usually we talk about things that we might want ISU to do or change.
That was pretty great.
There's nothing. I mean, Genji had a hero play. Genji played off the walls good. We're going to watch what Lemonade does.
Get a double kill with that ult there. And then dash through this point, try and hold it a little bit longer.
And then I think, unfortunately, that is when the Genji turns back around and then kills everybody else on point. So we don't need to watch the rest of that clip. We don't need to watch the rest of that clip.
Good.
That section was great.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Domina, still Average Pillow stayed alive for so long, just handling both that Genji and that Lucio, that it didn't even really make too much of a difference in the end.
I mean, the thing that ISU has been able to do time and time again is that Lucio will overextend just a little bit to try to make room for Genji, and we immediately punish. So most fights have been 4v5s in the favor of ISU before the fight really begins.
Especially when one of those is one of your supports like Lucio with that speed boost or that AoE healing. And then even a couple times, it's just been Genji hasn't pulled back quick enough in response, and it'll be a 3v5.
ISU does get the point, but they do lose both support and a DPS. There goes our second support.
We did take down the enemy tank and that Kiriko, but we'll just have to dig our heels in for a bit here. Oh, yeah, Average Pillow clinging to life, but is finished off by that Genji.
You know what? We still get 20% off of that first fight, so not too terrible there. Ult-wise, nobody's real close. We're probably going to get into ults either at the end of this fight or at the very start of the next one. Sojourn just poking a little bit, seeing if they can build up a little bit of that railgun charge.
The answer is yes. Yes, she can build up all that rail charge.
Yes.
Coming, which means immediately now curving around the side, blocking off that path behind them.
That was an...
There goes Huge, diving right down onto point.
Oh, what an incredible juggle!
Pinning the Genji against that corner there and just killing him in the air.
I am hopeful that we might have got a replay on that. That was absolutely fantastic by Huge.
We did lose Swagger Egg, but immediately traded that, and it was a good trade with us claiming that point back again.
And we're taking up positioning here. We're going to make sure that anytime they come through these hallways, they're going to have to deal with Venture, they're going to have to deal with Domina, and then once they clear it, well, you've got Lemonade. That is not a wall I want to go through.
No, and not with this Domina shield, which you see with a lot of these, like, diagonal or sideways comps. You have even more shield. It's an odd shape.
And there goes that sound barrier. Panopticon in response.
And the Sojourn ult and Diane's Matrix.
Unfortunately, ISU losing 3, NAU losing 1. Fight very heavily in the favor of NAU at this point. Huge is just going to try to die a little bit slower.
Yeah, dying slower, just contesting enough to keep some of this charge, some of this point going up, and so it is currently still now going to end around 70%, just under 70 into this change, which is like probably like 10% more than if you had died a little earlier.
Yeah, and sometimes Overwatch is about playing your angles and getting kills. Sometimes it's about being as annoying as possible and
let
just
me tell
staying there.
Huge is really good at that.
Yes, yes they are.
Yeah, we do have the Venture and the Sojourn ult ready for ISU.
An incredible ult to start, but then Genji played in response. Genji gets a ton. Oh, and Lemonade does shut down the Genji, but it's too late.
After there's already been 3 kills by Toad. Every ultimate was used there. I believe that was 5 ultimates in total, which did give it to NAU. However, it took him 5 ultimates to do it that handedly.
So we are approaching last fight territory here for ISU, depending on how fast this fight goes. The only ult online is Sound Barrier, a very powerful one. We should be able to win this fight. We're starting off with Sound Barrier. We're going to be able to take control. We're going to be able to take position in here, but we don't get any kills. We
have shoved them off the point enough to just grab it, but we are still at 70 there at 91, so it is going to be a battle of these last moments of staying on, contesting, possibly even some overtime.
NAU all very low. They have to pull back. Now Average Pillow on the low side, getting topped up by their supports.
We have this Genji trying to push in. We've got the Kiri and the Sojourn trying to push in, being held back here.
Both teams at this point are setting up for final fight territory. Everybody's looking to charge their ults, get as close as possible, and then be able to use any resources they have in this last fight. Lemonade starts off with a perfect kill onto that Genji.
Pushing them off. Oh, there goes that Domina as well. We have the enemy sound barrier going down, but all that's left is the 2 supports for NAU.
And there goes another.
All that's left is that Lucio, and he's so there he
goes.
I don't think they're not going to be able to touch in time.
You with the first map win.
Oh, man. I don't know if you heard it, but when we were on that overtime, you could hear the call-outs getting louder and louder from the players.
They are feeling the competition. They are feeling the game, and they are determined. I assumed this was going to be the play of the game.
Yeah,
it was
that triple Dragon Blade kill.
Yeah, it's pretty okay. Pretty okay here.
Pretty okay, man.
Gets rid of the immortality field to start off, and then just chunks out so much. I don't even know how they saw Lucio in the corner there.
I've no idea.
That was impressive.
We do have a highlight coming in, though, which...
Oh, perfect.
Yes, it's
Thank
the Venture
you,
juggle.
observers.
The Venture juggle.
incredible. The sheer mechanics, the follow-up.
Yeah, following immediately by then killing that Lucio, that little duo of the Lucio Genji, that game that normally didn't work out for very well, but Huge didn't even have to worry about it. Just the disrespect of killing him in the air.
There's nothing you could do as the Genji there.
No.
You can't move. You can't dance. You're off of cooldowns.
Standing there.
You're just stuck. And you're, well, I guess this is how I die.
And it is.
Yeah.
And then your buddy, the Lucio, is like, uh-oh. And Huge is like, well, I'm also here around the corner, pushing the Sojourn back. And now you're stuck in the corner, trapped between me and the team.
Yep.
That's it.
And now NAU has to deal with Vendetta again.
And we'll see if they will waste it. I doubt they'll waste a ban on the Venture because the Vendetta is the same thing.
Yeah, I would have to imagine
I doubt
that.
it, but like now it's just the knowledge of, it's one thing to be like, oh, we have to deal with Jetpack Cat, but they have enough. They've definitely shut down Jetpack Cat a lot more than Huge has been shut down on that Vendetta.
Yes.
So I guess we'll just have to see how they're going to respond to this, and we'll probably just see another match of DPS. We're just going to see the two Sojourn and the two Vendetta again.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I'm guessing NAU is probably going to ban that Domina. Got a lot of value. And NAU has also seen a lot of value with that Domina. Is the kind of the negative there? Maybe they instead go to ban that Zarya just as a fallback.
But do they think they can break through the Domino with the Sigma?
I don't know.
I don't know if they could.
Yeah. It's certainly a tough matchup, and the benefit of Sigma is that there's basically nothing on ISU that can really counter that. You've got Immortality Field, and then otherwise you're hoping for you've got Sound Barrier online. If those two things are off, there's not many cooldowns that can help counter that.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, the problem that they have with Sigma is just going to be that him as a tank, they don't have too much problem with.
Yeah, that's the thing, is even if that's the biggest thing, then 95% of the time
they
you
don't
have to worry
about
about that.
Exactly. And those 3 times that those 3 max times you do, you can recover from them. It was the same thing with the Sombra. All her main concern was just whenever she got an EMP off, and they could fight through the EMP.
Yeah. Begs the question maybe that you ban Sombra. I think Sombra has been one of the bigger things that ISU certainly doesn't play and has also given ISU some trouble. Like those EMPs found a ton of value. Admittedly, outside of the EMPs, just like you were talking about, not as much value. ISU was able to turn and coordinate to deal with that Sombra. Those EMPs did result in 3 team kills at least in that first game.
They still won that game.
Yes.
But it was harder.
Yes.
And it was probably a lot more stressful. So I think they could be just preemptively making sure that doesn't happen of getting rid of her. The question is that, NAU have a lot of options for what they could ban. I'm not sure what they'll end up going with because I feel like anything they do, they've got another thing that is going to also has proven to be a problem that they can't ban multiple.
Yes. I am curious where we are headed next because currently in the game lobby it says Ilios.
And that's a control map.
I don't think we can play 2 control maps in a row. That would be surprising to me.
That would also be crazy though. The round after Jetpack Cat gets unbanned to go to a map that is covered. That is the whole point. Is covered in a pit.
Just wells galore.
Exactly. Just be like, welp, no more of that. I'm just gonna drag you to the abyss.
Yeah. Do you think Jetpack Cat gets excited every time? Like, not obviously the player gets excited.
No.
But do you think in-game the cat is exhilarated at the idea of dropping people off ledges?
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise that she wouldn't have that be her entire ultimate is specifically just, I get to steal you wherever I want, which is going to be, I'm going to drop you off a ledge.
I really like the phrasing, I get to steal you wherever I want.
I think it's...
I got it. It made sense. I get it.
Give the cat a very dramatic accent. I couldn't think of one. Just be like, I get to steal whoever I want. It's time to go. Like a mobster. Make Fika a mobster. That's my pitch to Blizzard.
Make her a mobster?
Yes.
But she's an adorable little cat.
Yeah, but all the mobsters have cats in their lap.
Oh, so it'd be a reversal of the typical.
Exactly. Make the jetpack the chair.
When do you want to cover what map is up next?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
It's your favorite map?
Did they bring Volskaya Industries
They
back?
did not.
Oh.
Although, boy, howdy, that brings back some memories.
I
We are
love
headed to
Volskaya.
Kings Row.
Freaking stupid Britain.
Yep.
I don't like them.
Kings Row went very well in the favor of ISU last time.
It did.
We ended up losing a couple of fights where NAU was able to very effectively manage their ultimates, but outside of that, ISU was able to win a lot of those neutral fights.
We won with, I believe it was 3 minutes left on the clock, which is a long time to win by.
Yeah, especially in that game mode. I'm surprised they didn't try to go back to Shambhala Monastery or something like that.
Somewhere
that
that
game
went-
was very close.
Yeah, because it's NAU's map pick because they lost this round. So either is like let's choose the hybrid map to get it out of the way because it went so well, or just they hope they can do better this time.
Yeah,
because
maybe
it
there's a
didn't go well for
game
them.
plan of we're gonna go for I don't know, a widow pick or try to swap it up to a more brawly comp because we've seen a lot of their compositions kind of be Domina, Genji, or we've seen some Vendetta. So we've seen a decent amount of dive. So maybe they think they can swap up their kind of core meta.
I hope to see them swap it up because I feel like a lot of their dives have just been in response to ISU because we run the dives.
Yes.
And they answer that dive with their own dives, which I think that if they need to do anything, it's just going to have to be to swap it up to just not have to try and match the dive with the dive because they haven't been cleaning up those fights as much as ISU has with those comps.
Yeah.
So
especially as ISU has kind of gotten more and more confident in their dives.
Exactly.
And being able to more effectively get in, get the kill, return back to help their supports. It's been fun to watch.
It's been very fun to watch. I can imagine less fun for NAU to be trying to figure out a way to answer.
That is entirely possible, yes.
So I think we could either see them trying to just continue to run these dives and just hope that it'll work this time, or we could just see them change it all up and just go all out and just be like, whatever, this is it. Let's just go all out.
Because I can't imagine that NAU is picking a map that they lost and going like, well, we're going to do the exact same thing, but this time it'll work. I don't think that's their strategy.
That's the definition of insanity.
What?
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome.
What?
Oh, I get it.
I think we just got bans in, and it looks like NAU has decided to ban that Domina. I can't blame them.
No.
Average Pillow's seen a lot of value in that. And ISU banning Genji.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That, after the Dragon Blade, no more of that.
After the Dragon Blade and then the 1v3 on point that they ended up turning.
Yep.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, and that one time, I think it was last game where Lemonade barely shot just before the deflect ended and killed herself with that. That no more of
Yeah.
that. That's just annoying. Just annoying enough that needs to go for this game.
Now, we did talk about NAU making sure that they don't want to do the same thing. So why would they go to Kings Row? Well, I think it's because they wanted to ban Domina. So they wanted to go to Kings Row at a time where they could control that first ban and make sure Domina is not in play because Domina was so core in holding those choke points, especially on defense.
With those shields, she just covers the whole point. And with the way she can just turn them, it's like, okay, you have to just get through so much, so many tiny squares.
Yes.
And everywhere you look is more tiny squares. She's definitely a really good tank on a tighter map like this.
And so Average Pillow, I would guess, will probably flex over to that Zarya or maybe Mauga, but we haven't seen much Mauga today, and
I don't
Zarya's
think
been doing
that
work.
hybrid would be where I would do Mauga. I think I would save him for just like an escort.
I think that is fair, or a control point, but we've already played that, or even
Maybe
a push.
Flashpoint.
Yeah, basically anything other than Kings Row, I think
Row.
is probably the call, which almost definitively means that they will play Mauga on Kings Row because we've said that that's impossible to do so.
Yeah, I think also it's probably just a skill issue, but I'm so bad at controlling Mauga when he's sprinting. I can't turn at all. if I gotta turn at all, it's over. I'm not getting there. And so I'm like, if he has enough control over Mauga's not agility, because I think I just don't have any agility to get around any of the corners here, then props to Average Pillow for doing it, but I highly doubt it. minutes.
Props to our observers for letting us know that fish and chips are available in Kings Row if anybody is needing that. And it looks like NAU starting off, Jetpack Hack and May as their other pick. I think that's a smart pick. May is very, very strong on this first point, particularly.
With those walls.
Being able to wall off. So ISU being able to will make a push and then wall off and all of a sudden cut off from your supports. And that could be pretty disastrous.
Yes. Of course, the only swap that we're really seeing for ISU is, of course, without Domina, we're seeing the Zarya and huge back on that Vendetta. So pretty about what we expect to see going into this. And same as last time, already through the first bit of this choke point with Average Pillow around almost just about contesting this point pretty much instantaneously.
And Vendetta is doing what Vendetta does, cause chaos. There's the tank down already.
Just able to
There
team
goes
up.
Kiriko. Oh, the wall comes out and they're not able to get another bubble.
Wall does come out and traps Huge on the other side alone with that Mei and the cat. But Average Pillow working with the low health bar Huge left behind against to kill that Mei, and that cat was so
Jetpack
low.
Cat was so low there.
Absolutely on the verge of death.
You know Average Pillow wants that back and wants to be able to kill that cat.
Average Pillow most of the time, I believe, has been the one killing the cat as well. So I think it's just more of a little beam target practice.
And here we have another wall. Pretty solid placement there. Average Pillow is going to need to be careful here.
Yeah,
Vendetta going up to the top, being able to take down that Sojourn. And Immortality Field comes out, saves them.
Barely,
Can
not quick
Vendetta
enough.
do enough damage here to keep chunking through? Wet Noodle is low. They're very low, but they are not enough.
Was so low so many times. I can imagine that BAP screen having just saved by like 3 different times.
But ISU still cleans up that fight pretty easily, even without those last 2 kills, because the exact opposite of our very first game happened. Vendetta might not have gotten that kill, but they took the entire focus of both supports for about 15 seconds, and that meant no healing went to the rest of the team. Everybody else died, and we were able to push the card.
Yeah, that BAP was just exclusively focusing on just trying to outlast Huge there.
Yep.
Which is a long time to be without BAP.
And there goes Sigma, there goes Kat, there goes Cass, there goes Bap.
There goes May.
There goes Bap.
That great Sundering Blade right into a very strong team kill there already with 6 minutes on the clock now into this final stretch of Kings Row.
Who is this team? Who is this team that is playing with this amount of confidence, this amount of coordination? It is an absolute delight to see.
Especially, 'cause, dude, we can just hear them just still laughing and chatting just casually with each other during this push.
Oh, this is almost very dangerous
Here
with a Mei
comes
wall
the
cutting
ult.
off, but Average Pillow responds with Graviton Surge, and
all that's left is the cat. Huge is trying to cut the cat off from spawn there. Just dancing around the side. They are pushed right up there, not even going to let them give a chance to touch here.
I mean, this is just what you need to do. Now it is going to be very, very difficult here. Vendetta in this corner. Lemonade doing what Lemonade does. Sigma low, Sigma pulling out that barrier. May ulting on point.
Doesn't
keeping
matter.
things alive.
It
Average Pillow is
doesn't
alone,
matter.
but it is enough.
Average Pillow just even through all of that, killing Toad in the middle of the slowdown. Average Pillow standing as a stalwart wall in the midst of the Sigma ult and the Mei ult atop that payload. It doesn't matter.
Like this, it is important to note that on the other side of this, there is a BAP window, there is
There's
a Mei
two BAP
wall.
windows.
There is no reason that ISU should have been able to absolutely decimate that fight the way that they did, but they just just destroyed that wall, and then they were able to follow it up with enough damage that there was nothing NAU could do.
Both BAP windows were parallel to each other right in front of that. As soon as right after Huge cut off that cat, they all pushed through. We had Mei freezing and we had Sigma pushing them off. This is right after Zarya's ult just popped. It was just still Huge dancing in a circle. Lemonade cleaning up shots.
Yeah.
Freaking Average Pillow just standing there unfazed.
Absolutely incredible work, and now with this amount of time bank, I think the only real concern that you have as ISU is you can't get too cocky here. You still got to play. You still got to make sure that you're watching your corners, you're playing with everybody, you're cycling your ults correctly. But I think you can feel a little confident here. I think you can feel pretty good.
I believe it's about 5 minutes. That is 5 minutes they had on the clock at the end there, which is a lot of time.
And we see we see at the very least one significant change. We see a Bastion, which is not something you see a ton of, but it is able to absolutely chunk through those Zarya barriers. And we see Huge go down already. That is not the ideal first pick here.
Definitely not with the Vendetta there. We do also, I believe, no, I lied. Toad is the only change here off that Mei. But yeah, Average Pillow being cut off and alone from the team.
Oh, and that Immortality field was just a second short. So now we have 3v5. I think they're just going to give it up, come back, and see if they can reset their defense here.
Yeah, just push the payload. Just stop the payload from pushing rather than try and keep the point under control. We do have ults are a little more in NAU's favor. We've got some 80s, some 280s, a 90. So we'll see that going, but we have seen generally without ults, ISU is able to do a little bit better in these fights. And so as long as Huge doesn't go down first, he should be able to dive in there and get some really good damage or kills before
Huge
this
is
fight.
Taking his position. They almost certainly know that he's here.
They might know he's here, but they're not doing too much about it. We have Wet Noodle with the BAP ult and Lemonade with the Sojourn ult, which does take down that Immortality field. Huge just dancing in and out of this corridor trying to hit things and does get taken out by that Lucio. But Swagger Egg on the Brigitte does trade it off.
Back and forth. This is a 3v3. Now it is a 3v2. Now I believe they are going to reset.
Yeah,
there is still Lucio around, but I don't think that they're going to try to engage here.
Lemonade might.
Lemonade might try to do a kill.
Lemonade is. Cut him off the walls, had to drop, lost grip with the skates. He's like, okay, he's gone. Make him run home, the rest of the team. We do have that Bastion ult popping now. And that Gravity. Oh!
That was a pretty good combo.
Taking out Huge and Swagger Egg, which immediately let that BAP and I believe that was Cartman cleaning up the rest of ISU there. Going to get a lot of movement here in this payload while ISU regroups and respawns.
And Immortality field was thrown out there, and
it died first.
Yep, they sure did.
It died first to the Bastion ult,
yes.
which not the order of operations you'd hope for.
No, not typically.
Yeah, but with
All
Cartman
right.
using
we have
that
our own
gravity,
Graviton Surge here. Sound Barrier popped in response, so this is going to keep them alive for a little bit longer.
Diane does use that Matrix though into this. So we'll see what this does for them. We are right in front of this checkpoint here with 3.5 minutes left.
And Huge goes down. Huge is the first one down in the fight. Again, Swagger Egg follows suit not long after.
Same with Lemonade, Average Pillow as well. All that's left is Diane, and BAP not able to get out of there in time. And we are now at 5 minutes at this checkpoint.
Certainly not ideal. And if you're ISU, I think you've got to just make sure that we have target prioritization. Because I don't know if we're trying to kill the Bastion first, because the Bastion's the one that's been able to tear down those Zarya bubbles, or if we're trying to dive into the back line. But I think that we just need to be really, really clean in who we're targeting and when.
Yeah, we see Huge diving in there, and there's the Sundering Blade up top, but
and
Lemonade
says
it down.
No!
Wet Noodle, it is traded though. Wet Noodle taking down Huge, which is not ideal.
But it is a 4v4.
Lemonade still does have that Sojourn ult. Bastion does have that ult again, which without that gravity from the Zarya, I doubt it'll see that much value again, but you don't know. He could be saving it for that Zarya ult, and we have the Sundering Blade from Huge, which also gets canceled.
Also is dead. And their Vendetta, it's just dead Vendettas. That's all it is. It's dead Vendettas.
Dead Vendettas.
Vendettas. Yes,
Vendettas.
perfect. Good.
Vendettas.
Vendettas. Excellent. And everybody else has just been staying on this point.
Yes.
Nobody else has died. Vendettas, both teams' Vendettas have died twice.
In this fight that no one else has gone down in.
Correct.
And both of them died in their ults.
Yes.
We now have that gravity and alongside that Bastion ult. There's Bastion, and
There
there's
is
the
the
gravity.
gravity.
Does, I believe, trap, it does trap Swagger Egg, but a much better turnout than last time. Huge diving in there, and Sojourn using her ultimate. We do also have Average Pillow's own ultimate and Diane's, everything but Swagger Eggs. There's the enemy sound barrier, just everything happening in this last moment to get this
And
push to
Zarya
happen.
is low. Zarya is down, but so is Lemonade and Average Pillow. That's not the ideal trade. Swagger Egg's still alive, still rallying. We take out their Vendetta. We now have Vendetta and BAP against a Bastion and 2 supports. And looks like it's going to be 1 support here. Just a second. They were expecting that health pack. It was already taken.
The Huge got it first and is able to then get enough damage on
And
Lemonade.
there we go.
Cleans up on that. Bastion and Huge taking out that Baptiste. 2.5 minutes to the end of this round here, and the payload has yet to reach the end.
And it has been very close. We see a swap over from NAU, or swapping off of that Vendetta into that Reaper. And that'll leave the backline a little bit more vulnerable because the Reaper doesn't have quite as much mobility, but could still be very, very dangerous here.
There is the BAP ult for NAU, and Diane popping an Immortality Field stay alive here right at the end here. This payload has been pushed back a bit, that there is more wiggle room into this contention, and Average Pillow and Huge rushing this Reaper to get him to go away. Toad does get to take out that Lucio though.
But we swap it for Zarya. You're fine with that trade. Bastion pops his ult and then immediately dies. Vendetta is survived for but a moment and then goes down. Reaper is still on point. We have Lemonade doing what Lemonade does, 2 other kills.
Average Pillow in this fight against this Reaper here, and
Reaper
does
goes
barely
down.
survive with help from Lemonade and Swagger Egg coming in to just keep them alive there. 1.5 minutes left.
Average Pillow at just 65 health at the end of this fight. We've got still plenty of time. NAU can absolutely finish this. There's going to be probably about 2 more full team fights.
We do have the Vendetta Sundering Blade ready to go. Lemonade has her ult as well. NAU is on their way to getting that Death Blossom and the Bat Bolt ready and online as well.
They fully turned. Everybody turned onto that Reaper.
Everyone
that was
did.
excellent. Now they have turned. They've bubbled the Lucio, keeping the Lucio alive.
Here's
now we're double
Sundering Blade.
DPS ulting.
Double DPS ulting. They're just lined up in the side there, and there is the enemy BAP ult, and there goes down that Lucio, 92 away from his ult, so dead, not able to fully charge and trying to use that sound barrier.
Lemonade very, very close to dead, but able to find some cover. Reaper ulting while in the Graviton Surge. That's not where you want to ult, Reaper.
No.
That's not where you want to be.
Diane killing 2, Lemonade finishing off that Toad, and then Huge killing the DPS, that support.
I think we're supposed to get a
replay. That
this
is not the right replay. Here's the right replay. They get that gravity. I believe catches all of the team.
Oh my goodness.
I think the Reaper really thought that the ISU would push it a lot closer. That he
And
get
here we
something
have
with
5
that.
seconds. This is our final fight. It looks like Sound Barrier has already been popped. A lot of ISU are low. We
2
lose
of
our
ISU
Lucio.
are dead. 2 of NHU
Both
are dead.
tanks
3
are down.
3 of NHU are dead. Cartman is about to die. Solo. It's just that Cassidy left.
Lemonade versus the world.
Oh.
Cassidy is all alone on point. Lucio will be able to touch without a doubt. The question is, can they stay alive?
There's that
Bastion is popping
that
ult.
Bastion
This is
ult.
going to be a little bit dangerous here. Lucio's got to be careful. Try not to die to this ult here.
Whoa.
Still on
Does
point.
kill
Able
the
to get the
light.
kill.
Does kill the light.
Average
Get the
Pillow
kill.
gets it down.
Yes.
ISU Kate's map number 2.
Oh my goodness. Holy. That was a
High
crazy
blood
way
pressure
to end
be
it.
darned.
And throughout all of that, nothing but high spirits coming from ISU's players.
I see our entire production team, every single player, put their hands on their head as a moment of relief because we get a break from this insanity.
Oh my goodness. Holy.
I mean, it's just been incredible.
Yes.
Every time ISU has needed to make an adjustment, like we saw on that defense, it was a little concerning. They were able to, they lost those first couple maps. They made some adjustments. They were able to be more careful about where and when they went in. And my favorite moment was that Reaper teleporting in. All 5 players from ISU immediately turn
look.
because the Reaper is out of position. Take out the Reaper, turn back around.
And
that is the exact
without
opposite of our first game.
just without a breath wasted either. Just killing the Reaper.
Oh, there's so many highlights. I don't know what this is. This is
huge taking that health back from the Lucio. He's not able to get it, and he really was banking on it being there for that fight. Just getting a triple, I believe, there.
Just incredible.
Oh, man. I'm not
cow.
over that Death Blossom just getting wasted.
No.
That was such a panic shot. You could tell he really thought that we would be pushed up right up in that gravity to get those kills. I don't know how to tell you this, bud. Everyone's ranged characters. That was for fun when we punch him to death. We don't need that close.
I also want to, like, that very final moment with Swagger Egg on point, needing to stay alive, dodging the Bastion ult, dodging the cast shots at the very beginning, able to push back, push that cast into range for Lemonade to finish off. Textbook. Absolutely incredible.
The fact that he even lived the Bastion ult was crazy.
Yeah.
He just managed to he was on 90 health, I think.
Yeah.
Just managed to just stay just a step ahead of those shots to not take the full blunt of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's brunt. That's it. It's the full brunt of them.
The full brunt of them. Yes, absolutely.
Brunt. Oh my goodness.
Holy cow.
2-0 in this round. Doing even better than they did against NAU last time.
Yeah.
We'll see if NAU goes instead probably to this Flashpoint, which they did is the map that they won last time, to see if they can comp a win.
They won Control last time. It was the only map that they won. Every other was ours. Yes.
Oh, I thought they won. That's right. We did win the Flashpoint a lot,
looks like we are going to Suravasa as our next map.
Yay.
Did we play Flashpoint not last map?
We've played Flashpoint
we
last
King's Roll,
game.
Shambali. And
last game we went to No, that was the first game we went to New Junk City. We did do Flashpoint, and I believe it was also Suravasa.
I'll trust you. I'll trust you.
I wouldn't. I have very bad memory. But I feel like they did.
Right. I think you're right. Because we have seen Suravasa, and it wasn't in the first game, and we haven't watched any of the other maps. So it has to be true.
It has to. Process of elimination.
Yeah.
We definitely did. I don't remember anything that happened.
I remember we won.
We didn't. I think we lost 1 point, and then we got the others.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, it was 2-1, then we got the third.
Yep. That's
coming back to me. Or
that
I'm
was the somber
making it
map.
up.
It was the somber map.
It was the somber map. There it is.
Yeah.
Our director said something, and I didn't hear it.
We have a substitution. I believe we're swapping out DPSs on NAU. Squid is coming in. Toad is coming out.
I'm sensing
Toad
a
is
naming
playing
theme.
their Genji and their Bastion in the last few.
Was it the Cassie? No, it was Kaiman at the very end with the Cassie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo! Squid is back. We saw last game that Squid was swapped out for Kainem. I don't remember. The Sojourn player.
Yes.
They're back now.
Great.
Yay. Onto this Flashpoint. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what gets banned. And they have banned
Baptiste.
Huh. That wasn't going to be who I would have thought out of it. All the DPS or the tanks they could have banned.
I mean, if there is an ego trip to be had,
that
being a Baptiste player and getting banned
might
might be that ego trip.
That's the ego trip.
We heard the Overwatch team cackling just a moment ago. I bet it was that.
I bet it was the reaction
that.
of being like, wow, you got them mad enough at the BAP to get rid of it.
That is a sign that you are playing a very annoying BAP.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think BAP has been one of the reasons that Jetpack Cat hasn't been able to see a ton of play, because that hit scan pressure from a support in addition to Lemonade is so much. Jetpack Cat is basically always low and having to look for cover.
Especially because with Baptiste's little boots, I don't remember what they're called, so I'm just going to call them. That's a better name than Little Boots. His little boots, he can close some of that distance and bring the file, not just be stuck on the ground, hoping to live while looking and just aiming up. Being off the ground, which I don't know if you're aware, most of the times in most first-person shooters, most people don't look up.
Yep.
So if the BAP is in the air, he doesn't exist.
It's an invisible space.
Exactly.
It looks like
no object permanence.
ISU has banned Sigma, and I think that's a fair ban, because I think it's one of the few things that you've seen NAU play really well that ISU
Yes.
just doesn't touch.
Exactly.
And so there's not a loss for it. It makes NAU kind of double check, make sure that that's what they want to do. And I think the only other thing that we might have seen here was perhaps a Sombra ban, but Sigma makes a lot of sense too.
They've got more use out of the Sigma beyond the EMP than they did out of the Sombra.
I would agree with that.
And I think of the tanks, Sigma is definitely the one that their tank that Cartman has played the best.
Yes.
Is definitely the one that they are most comfortable with. So I think forcing them off into a tank that Average Pillow is probably going to be more able to directly answer will be a boon.
Yes.
Especially going into what could be the last round here.
And that Sigma barrier can really, really reduce the amount of damage that Lemonade is doing specifically.
Yeah, because it's so mobile. You can just he can send that thing so far.
Yes. And I am curious if Diane is now going to swap back over to that Kiriko, if we're going to go something a little bit crazier. I have to imagine it's Kiriko because that's what she loves to play. But
yep. I imagine as well that NAU are going to be able to see the reason that Diane plays Kiriko so much is that her Kiriko is not any less annoying than her BAP apparently
Correct.
is.
Yes. Now, admittedly, kunai are harder to hit on Jetpack Cat than hit scan shots. So it still probably will open up a lot of space for Jetpack Cat to get a lot more value. But now we just shift where our targets are going and who we are pressuring.
Exactly. And, you know, I normally play Mizuki and Zenyatta, neither of which are hit scan. It's still pretty possible to kill that stupid cat. I can tell you from experience. Oh yeah, you can hit the cat.
Look,
and it feels great.
The problem with that theory, for me, is that you have to be able to aim, and that's out of my wheelhouse.
Oh, I never said I can aim.
You just said you could kill it.
I could just kill it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It is within the realm of possibility.
I just have to aim well enough, and with Zen, you just charge a volley and wait for it to rush in to get a purr off, and just boom. You just general area, and it'll just melt.
What a nice lamp.
I
like lamp.
Look at that lamp.
I love lamp.
It's Cerveza? I forgot.
Cervasa.
Yeah, I forgot the map and how to say it.
And it looks like NAU going with pretty similar to what they've done for a lot of this, and it looks like we are matching it exactly on ISU side.
We are, in fact, running the same comps. Well, I don't know if I would keep doing that if I were NAU. It hasn't been working out for them.
We're going to start off with Symmetra for Teleporter, or not. Or
there
not. That's out of spawn. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. We were looking at ISU. That's why. Okay. I was very confused for a moment.
It's like, wow, Symmetra looks a little different.
ISU looking to take this ground. Ooh, a very good bubble as Vendetta gets very low off the jump.
Yeah, huge pushing in very far, but does safely make it back into the team.
ISU is in a bad spot here. They got split and they were not able to recover. NAU is going to be able to take this fight pretty easily. ISU just hoping they could get out without too many other staggers. That
is true. You saw Huge and Average Pillow whipping around before they died. They're being attacked on two fronts here. And this first point does go to NAU while ISU regroups up over on their way.
So here we see Lemonade trying to make sure to get that charge. Ooh,
yeah, giving support to Huge on the push there.
And their supports are pretty well occupied here. They've had to drop down to the lower ground. That's going to make it more difficult for them to heal. Lucio has made his way all the way back around, and now Kiriko has as well. Vendetta is diving into the back line. Our Vendetta is coming back to respond to that.
Lemonade getting the kill off. Trading for Average Pillow is now down as well. We are contesting this point about halfway through it.
Vendetta gets that Sojourn low, but not low enough. It is now a 3v4, and we are without our tank. I have to imagine that we're going to get back out of this. It looks like Swagger Egg is low, and Swagger Egg drops.
And we do also have Average Pillow swapping to that Domina.
I think that's a good pick. I think that's a very good choice.
Yeah, keeping our beam heroes, but Domina getting more utility, and I think the shield is going to get more value for covering the team than just one bubble, probably only ever going really to Huge.
Yes. We have a Kitsune Rush to start off. An incredible start. Just immediately pinning that Lucio, getting them out. Lemonade off, taking out that Vendetta.
We do have a double kill off with that enemy Sojourn, and Huge has swapped on Adventure as well.
And we are able to take it, but at 99%, and we are still not in the clear. This is a 3v3 fight still. Neither team at a great spot.
Lemonade does have her own Sojourn ult ready to go, and the enemy is about to get Sound Barrier and Kitsune Rush. They also now have that Gravity.
And Swagger Egg drops. Average Pillow gets to trade out support for support, but Average Pillow is very, very low.
Average Pillow is very low. Lemonade dying in the middle of that ultimate, and kill for almost the rest of ISU going off. They're going to be giving this first point over to NAU. They did use another 2 ults to get that last bit on the point. We only used that one, so we still have our Sound Barrier. They have theirs, but they do have that Sundering Blade ready for this next point.
But I think that we saw a lot more value off of that Domina, and so we lost the first point, but still, like, not a reason to panic. There's that Sundering Blade. Lands on Average Pillow, but nobody else.
Huge is taking the fight right to that Vendetta. Doesn't do too much through her sword as a shield here. We've also got Annoyed Green with the Sound Barrier. And in response to Swagger Egg's own. Huge going down. Yeah, Flashpoint just barely opening with Huge not currently alive. Average Pillow is slowly going down. Panopticon does go out, though.
Oh, Cartman was so low there, just barely able to get out. Lemonade backing up, Diane backing up as well. Really, really great sound barrier used by Annoyed Green there to keep their entire team alive.
Yep.
And that put Huge in a very tough predicament of needing to push forward and also pushing forward leading to his death.
Exactly. We did see there at the end both supports and Lemonade trying to outlast that Vendetta while trying to regroup with the team. They did stay alive long enough, and we do now have our own Kitsune Rush going into it, which is being popped, and for right now is the only ult online. Lemonade
Very
just
clean
getting
kill by that Vendetta.
Incredibly.
That is unfortunate. Huge with a very strong response there.
Killing that Lucio. Yep. Changing focus then to
Squid
mowing
is
down.
so low. Squid jumps off the map.
Goes down instead, and then Huge having to bail as well in response to that Sojourn ult, but does get the kill off the Sojourn, which is traded for Diane, and Average Pillow taking down Cartman. 30%, almost 1/3 of the way through the second point.
And NAU is forced to back up, but they have a very dangerous number of ults coming up. They've got Graviton Surge, they've got Kitsune to be able to get in and use that at the position that they want quickly, and then they've got Sundering Blade to follow it up. This is going to be a tough fight for ISU.
And they've just barely about to get that Sound Barrier online of their own. We are a little bit away from having both DPS ults online and our own Sound Barrier, which is used in response.
They start off great getting that kill onto Squid. Their Lucio is Lul. They have to back up. Our Lucio goes down. We're trading
so does
tanks.
Average Pillow, but
trading
so does
everybody.
We are in the same position. A Lucio and a tank down. All ults except for that enemy Vendetta have been used. Lemonade does get the kill with her own.
ISU takes the second flashpoint, tie it up 1-1.
All ults used except for that Vendetta, and we see it now a reversal because of that on the ult economy with them using all of it, and ISU now now having a higher percentages, and especially with Average Pillow about to get that Panopticon, which
Average Pillow with the push off.
Booping Zarya off the map.
That is filthy.
Absolutely disrespectful there.
Now we do have Squid with that Sundering Blade. That can still cause a lot of trouble. I imagine they're gonna wait until their Zarya is back, so we should be able to start off with control here.
Do indeed with Lemonade and Huge, and probably, I believe it was the DPS as well, all sat waiting on the point, ready for it to open to get this early lead in the points.
And there's that Sundering Blade.
Huge trying to kill the Vendetta in the air and falling down just before she dies.
Squid gets that pick, but we are able to respond in kind. We've got Panopticon online. We're now at a 3v3. We're down our tank, but we have Lemonade. We've got both supports still alive. Kitsune Rush pops.
Lemonade is dancing around, charging through, melting, trying to keep this that Zarya and that Lucio down, but does get picked off along with Diane. So this first point is currently being contested a little, but not for much longer with Huge's death.
And we get up to 68% on that fight.
Trading off control of this point and control of the lead right now.
Next fight, ISU is going to have absolutely nothing in their pockets. NAU is going to have their Sojourn ult, so Kynan can absolutely do a lot of damage with that. Question is, can somebody get a pick here early? Average Pillow starts out a little bit low, and a little bit of Dangerous Pillow.
Average Pillow does get the Lucio gone. Lemonade being targeted by this Vendetta, but chasing her down, trading huge for that Vendetta kill. We have, oh my gosh, we got Wet Noodle with the Kitsune Rush coming out.
But we're able to take that space. We're able to push them away. There is nobody left on NAU that can really out-damage us. They have their tank and both supports. Now their DPS are coming back.
We saw that touch on the contestant just right after we reclaimed it. Weren't quite able to stop them from reclaiming the point. We are now at 90% done with this third flashpoint.
Vendetta is behind, but Kiriko does have the ability to teleport. Then we have Sojourn looking on port. Cartman just goes down.
Cartman just falls. We have a pick off on. We see a bit of a glitch in the kill cam
for
there.
A very brief while, but Average Pillow take it down. Squid goes
falls
down, falls off the map.
map.
And there's second point.
There is second point. We've got each team. Well, we've got NHU with 3 ults currently online. Probably not going to get those other 2 in time for this first team fight on this next point. ISU is about pretty close to all 5 ultimates being online. All that's left is that Kitsune Rush, which is already at 80%. Which is crazy.
NAU only at 3, so ISU should have the advantage in this fight. And they start off by getting an incredible kill on the Keenan.
Don't even need an ult. We do trade it for Lucio going down, followed by that Sundering Blade taking down
Grab it on surge, but Lemonade's still on point.
Hello.
Lemonade's still alive here. Lemonade and Diane. It is a 3v2 situation. Lemonade pops ult. Absolutely. Suzu is down. Now it is just Lemonade on point on her own.
Does get taken down.
Unfortunately, not enough.
However, the point only has just opened, and that was only one of our ults being used there. Actually, I lied, that was 2. A Sound Barrier was used in there, but that still leaves us with 3 when all NAU have to work with right now is their own Sound Barrier.
Vendetta in a very dangerous spot to start things off.
Flying around there, getting caught up in the bit of an aerial positioning there. We've got the enemy Sound Barrier, our Kitsune Rush going. Huge with his ult.
And here we're turning back. We're peeling for all of our supports. It looks like we're pinning the Lucio. We get both supports down.
Full supports down, focusing, using this Panopticon, hitting Vendetta and the Zarya, getting the kill.
Incredible value.
Yeah, Cartman dying and Lemonade finishing off that Vendetta. We did see one of our own character. Wow, that was terrible.
You want to take a second to take that?
Yes.
Great.
One of our own members did go down in that fight, but didn't matter. Don't even remember who it was because we still handedly won that. Are taking control of this point again at 1/4 of the way through.
The amount that our team is peeling when they go in is excellent. The NAU started with a Sound Barrier. ISU then immediately turned right back around and survived. And here we go, another team fight beginning with a Kitsune Rush from Wet Noodle. Average Pillow goes down. That's not great for ISU. Lemonade in the corner.
Low, going down as well.
We're able to trade out Squid on Vendetta, but I don't imagine that we're going to keep fighting this for much longer.
No, we did have Huge going down as well. They do, NAU do take back control of this point, and they still do have their own Sojourn ult in their pocket to use.
It's at 85%, and because of how fast it charges, it's not a guarantee that we're going to be able to touch here. Lemonade being able
wanting to touch.
Very, very close. This is okay. They're going to send it into overtime.
Kynan popping that ult does take down Average Pillow, and then after that, Diane goes down. Then another kill on Swagger. Both our supports and our tank are down. All that's left is Huge in this overtime. Not able to leave, not able to really stay. That is going to be a team kill going into the last flashpoint here, 2-2. Both teams without nope, Sound Barrier just came online for NAU. They are almost to the Sundering Blade and the Graviton Surge. We are closest to getting that Sojourn ult and at 70% for Lucio and Venture. Bit further away with that Kitsune Rush.
Yeah, this is going to be another tough fight here for ISU. Vendetta diving into the back line, turning very quickly. Vendetta able to get out, but Lucio is low. Huge gets Lucio.
Huge getting the Lucio. We do have the Graviton Surge going up on the top there, which does lead straight into a lot of really not great kills. All that left is Huge here on this point as it opens. second team kill without an ult usage except that Graviton Surge.
That Graviton Surge has seen so much value
Using
every
it-
single time.
Using it on that top, like locking them all on the high ground there was also amazingly done.
I thought that after Squid went down that the Graviton Surge probably wasn't going to come out because they weren't going to be able to follow it up with enough damage. Turns out they didn't need it.
They didn't need it. Going into this next fight, though, there's the Sundering Blade, but ISU did have 4 ults, and Lemonade getting hers canceled by dying to that Sundering Blade. There is both Kitsune Rushes and Swagger Egg's own sound barrier. Now Annoyed Green sound barrier. Every ult except for Huge's is being used right now.
Ults are being popped left and right. ISU is looking that they're going to be down in this fight. Average Pillow goes down, Huge goes down, and that'll be the last reset. I don't know if ISU is going to be able to touch it. It's 75%. It's going to be very, very close. NAU is going to pressure this because they do not want to give them a free journey onto point here.
We do have Panopticon as well for Average Pillow. 2 ults for them is rushing, Swagger Egg running in, getting booped off for the touch, and then shot. Barely kept off point. That is going to be the map is going to go to NAU. A very close flashpoint.
NAU saying, we are not done yet. We are going to make this a series. We're going to make sure that you guys earn your trip to the championship if you get there.
Exactly. See, I assume this gravity along, multiple gravities worthy of the point.
Yeah.
I believe every time the gravities were used for Cartman, they led into a team kill. But we have this Panopticon here at the end here.
This was the beautiful play. Swagger Egg went down first, but everybody turned. Everybody worked together. Absolutely flawless execution on that one.
Yeah, trading that Lucio for getting the Panopticon and the kill off on the Zarya and Vendetta, they're like they're definitely their 2 hardest hitting.
Ooh, a second clip.
Oh, this one from the perspective of Huge here, targeting down this Vendetta.
Vendetta gets off the point.
Running back. And then waiting for the Sojourn to come back and catching them off guard anyway.
Gets the Sojourn mid-ults. Ah, what a delight. Very, very close map.
Incredibly close. I believe this was one of the first times I've seen Flashpoint here that has gone to the tiebreaker point.
I think that is correct, yes.
It normally goes, the score is like 1-2, 1-3, or 0-3. 3-2, I don't think I've seen.
It is
trading
rare.
Points. Yeah.
But this goes to show how well matched these 2 teams are.
Incredibly.
It is just back and forth, and there's been, I think, one map that hasn't really felt close, and that was this King's Row, and then NAU came back and immediately hit.
Exactly. I think going into this next round, I think ISU are probably going to be trying to not let that happen again. It's a lot quieter in the room this time following the loss of that flashpoint. I think that's kind of the, okay, no more of that.
Yeah.
Don't let them hit us again. But still, if that was the weakest map we played, that is an incredibly strong map to have be your weakest.
And we're going to be able to have Baptiste back for ISU, since that will not be banned again. We also might consider banning the Zarya, would be my guess. That Graviton Surge has just found so much value every single time. And you might be thinking, well, we can counter that better with Bap's Immortality Field. That's fair, but it's just been so consistently effective.
Exactly, and we've been seeing the same 3 tanks from Cartman with the Sigma, the Zarya, and the Domina that most likely if we ban that Zarya, I doubt they're going to go match the Domina because Average Pillow has just put such a strong showcase out that we can pretty safely assume we're going to herd them into that Sig.
Yes, absolutely.
And we do know we can deal with the Sig as well, which is really with a lot of our bans is we know what we can deal with. And so they can kind of pick off more side, I guess, characters to ban.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Just, less I need this character gone more, you're kind of more annoying. Brush that off.
And kind of dictating a little bit more about the style of play than necessarily like a specific, well, you're absolutely done. It's more of a, well, you're probably going to have a harder time if you want to play poke on this.
Exactly. Ooh,
Looks
Coliseo.
Like Coliseo as ISU's pick. I love it.
It's a good one. This is I'm not a big push fan. I am if it's Coliseo.
That's the best push map, without a doubt.
100%. It's not very close.
I imagine that we're still going to run the Vendetta.
100%.
We've seen ISU run with the Vendetta on this map in NACE. It was
It
one of
worked.
our map wins
It
that
worked
we've had this year.
incredibly well for Huge. Plus, now Vendetta has home advantage on Coliseum.
Yeah. And
because that matters.
The last time that we saw Coliseo, we were also playing Mauga. Mauga, there's a little bit longer runway for Mauga. I would guess that we're probably not going to see Mauga because we've seen a lot of Domina, and Domina's been great, but that might be something that we swap to if things aren't going well.
I think either we'll start with the Mauga or we'll pivot to the Mauga. So because on this push, with that heavy dive with that Vendetta and with that, even with that Sojourn picking him off from the back, because Lemonade's just amazing. That's just an amazing shot.
Yeah.
In that Mauga, we could see some real damage being done and just hold them and just hold NAU so far away. I think that it's a good chance we might see that Mauga because it's something NAU haven't seen either. So I don't know if they'll be quite ready. It'll probably have time where they won't have as much moment and like readiness of I know what to expect when you do this. Here's a whole new character. Now what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. and it's just a different way to handle that. And Mauga, the benefit of Mauga is that he kind of commands a little bit more attention himself. But the negative is that he doesn't offer nearly as much protection to his allies.
No.
You've got the overdrive, so you can heal a little bit if you're near him, but there's no barriers, there's no shields, you're on your own, and that could open up our support lines to a lot more damage.
Exactly.
And so it'll be curious to see if that's the trade-off that we end up making.
Exactly, which is why normally with these dive comps, we see them paired with Domina and Zarya, because Zarya can just let Vendetta run wild with a bubble, and Domina's shield is freaking humongous.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere around you. And the rest of the tank shields are not nearly that big.
And the amount of value that Average Pillow has found through that push, being able to see a tank that is slightly out of position, push them into a barrier, push them away from their allies.
Push them into a wall, just anything.
Yeah, it's been incredible, and you're not going to get that push with Mauga. So you know what? I've changed my mind. I think that we're only going to see Domina.
I think it's a very strong possibility. I think we might see, if it isn't like all in on one thing, we'll probably see a bit of that Mauga for like just try it out. But Domina's been working great.
And it looks like we do have bans in. Zarya did indeed get banned by ISU. I think that's a smart play.
Indeed, and I think it's also a smart move. NAU banning that Venture. We did see Huge changing from the Vendetta back to the Venture in that last map. Both characters work great for them, making sure they don't have that option anymore.
Yeah, and so now Huge is going to be focused on that Vendetta, and they're not going to have Zarya bubbles to help protect them.
Yes.
So now kind of becomes where does the Vendetta end up focusing? Do you try to wait for the enemy Vendetta to charge your backline so you can peel and then go? Do you just try and go and hope your backline can survive on its own? I guess we'll find out.
We shall indeed, because we are going into the map here, starting to see some of our initial hero picks.
Heading into Coliseo, it is up. ISU is up 2-1 against NAU in the Big Sky qualifiers. If ISU wins this map, they will head on into the championship, where they will face UC Davis in that championship. If NAU wins this, then we'll force a map 5.
Woo! Map 5 will be Escort, I believe, then, if we go there.
Yes, because that is the only map mode that we have not yet seen.
Yeah, making sure on that I didn't forget. Coliseo is just such a good map.
It's so pretty.
It's amazing. I just enjoy Coliseo. It's the only good push map.
Look at those cool little fountains. Look at that lighting. Look at that lighting.
Look at that lighting. They got those Talon banners up quick.
Alrighty, so for NAU, we've got Cartman on that Domina, Keenan on that Sojourn, Squid on that Vendetta. Looks like we lost visual for just a moment.
Ice.
All right, we are down to one observer.
One of our observers has something has gone wrong over there, but we do still have the other one, so not as bad as past issues have been with the observers.
That is true. Always have a backup plan. ISU on the kind of the exact comp that we expected them to go to, and it looks like NAU is almost mirroring that, except for they're going with the Kiriko instead of that back.
First
Keenan
death.
off to a very good start with that pick.
Yeah, first death going Swag Rig on that Lucio. Average Pillow doing a lot of damage real briefly there to the enemy Lucio, that Annoyed Green. Huge in this fight, does lose the fight against that Vendetta with Annoyed Green getting that kill. Kynan then finishing off Diane. ISU not likely to win this initial push with the robot.
No, does seem unlikely. So NAU gets his first push, and
We do have the swap to the Mauga.
we
And
I'll never be
Lemonade,
right.
Lemonade now on the on-run. First we've seen of her on-run that, I don't know about the matches we haven't seen, but first we've seen of the on-run on stream here today and this, for us. We'll see this Mauga rushing in here, getting kind of blocked off by that shield there, and Lemonade and Huge do both go down. So not seeing much value on the swap right away.
No, not yet.
There's another team kill.
And NAU is going to be really close to getting to this first checkpoint here before this next fight starts. And that checkpoint could be a pretty massive advantage to start off.
Any early lead you have in push, just gets exponentially harder to surmount from the enemy team because of the time it takes for the robot to just walk back to your spot. So you may have 8 minutes left of the round, but yeah, with these early picks off, with ISU not being able to kind of stay alive through these attacks, there's just less opportunity to actually get more distance with the robot before he reaches, as what Dirk likes to call it, the butt scratch.
Yes, that is the official name, if I am not mistaken.
I just thought he just coined that.
I actually don't think it's the official name, but it is.
It's Dirk's, and so in our hearts.
It was also used very frequently on the Overwatch official esport casts for quite some time. And another fight where ISU just kind of gets ran over.
There were a lot of ults used in that fight. We saw the Kitsune Rush and the Sundering Blade from NAU used in that fight, which seems a little overkill since they were still winning, but now they have less value going into this. We now have that Sojourn ult popping, and Average Pillow dying right in the cage fight.
Yeah.
We did have that Diane with the Matrix popping, but it isn't going to be enough to really keep ISU alive through this.
No, it's difficult to say what's happening here, but it is, whatever it is,
it's not
working.
It isn't. We are already almost finished with this push. It's already almost reached the end.
And this is the type of map that rarely you see. Huge finally with a response here, and it looks like they are heading for that Sojourn and able to get a number of kills here. ISU should be able to pretty handily turn this fight.
Huge and Lemonade locking in there, I guess, and are able to walk this robot all the way almost back to their little barricade, but we are meeting this team fight before it will reach there.
And it looks like NAU is going to be able to start this fight not before the checkpoint. So we should be able to, okay, so we've gotten rid of their forward spawn advantage here. ISU all very, very low. We do have sound barrier if we need it as a last resort.
Which we might hear because these health bars are getting a little scary. Lemonade does go down as right before that sound barrier, which both of those have been popped. Cartman does have the Panopticon ready though, and Lemonade has gone down.
And it looks like we are trading out. So Keenan and Annoyed Green also go down.
Wet Noodle getting the kill
Wet
off
Noodle
on
is
Huge
so
though.
low.
Oh,
just
Average
hiding.
Pillow. Average Pillow trying so hard to get that kill off. She is still so low.
Average Pillow turning around, perhaps getting a little too greedy for that kill, and as a result, their supports go down. And it looks like ISU is going to end up losing this fight.
We do have Panopticon for Average Pillow here, and we do have Diane with that Matrix again, but we are losing this fight. This robot got all the way back to the middle, and he's walking right back straight up to ISU.
And they'll probably be able to re-unlock their forward spawn.
And just about here, yeah. Huge coming up behind this Vendetta. She didn't realize he was there, clearly.
Yeah, that is a dangerous spot to charge into without checking first.
Indeed it is, and Squid did get out of the way, but bit of a push back to go get out of that forward push. Before
Kiriko Suzu is now down, so a lot of ults are opening up, but Cartman takes down Huge.
Yep, there is the Kitsune Rush and the Sundering Blade. We also have Diane's ult popping, but that Sundering Blade does get both her and her field.
Lemonade does take out Keenan.
There are 3
Both
dead
Lucios
on
are
NAU.
dead.
3 dead on NAU. We are just before
And
that
now it is
second
Domina
spawn.
versus Domina. ISU should have some reinforcements coming in soon. There's Huge, and we should be able to win this fight here. Cartman should go down soon.
There he goes.
There
Diane
we go.
getting that
Diane at
headshot
the last
off.
second.
We do have both Panopticons online. We're just about to get that Sojourn ult for NAU and Huge with their own Sundering Blade. Robot is meeting back in the middle while we reconvene for this team fight again. See if he starts actually getting some more pushing done before they start contesting, and he is.
I mean, this is the difficult thing about push. ISU has been playing them pretty even for about the last 3 minutes or so, but they have such massive ground to make up that it's going to be really, really difficult.
We have both Panopticons going out, and Kainen with the Sojourn ult, which does kill Lemonade. And so we have full supports now dead, everyone but Average Pillow dead on ISU.
Yeah.
There's another team kill, Robot walking right on back. All of that time spent with that regained ground just doesn't make enough of a dent.
So going into the next fight, NAU has basically no ults available. Huge does have that Sundering Blade, and I have to imagine that we'll probably see if we can find a sneaky angle here. Ooh, able to take out Squib very early on.
Incredibly early on, and Huge targeting that Lucio and just shoving them away.
But that dang wall red and keeping Lucio alive, and because they were able to get that bot up to that checkpoint, they did unlock their faster spawns. So Squid should be back before this next fight starts, and they are.
Right back here ready with that Huge Sundering Blade off the side there. They are everyone out of the way enough and diving straight through the middle of the fight there, targeting that Vendetta. It does doesn't die, but Squid does take down Swagger Egg, and then following that, our team goes down for another team fight.
Swagger Egg
kill.
died in the middle of his ult. He went up and then
died on the way down.
Died on the way down.
Cutting off that sound barrier. They're gonna get NAU getting that forward spawn again, and so we keep trading these fights, but there's just not enough time to make up this lead here.
And this game mode, trading fights is simply not enough. You've got to find a way to string together several in a row.
Huge getting demolished, which is traded for Squid, but also now 3 of ISU are dead. Diane's ult is up. But so
Diane with a
Kitsune
very
Rush.
good tracking there.
Yeah, but right as the rest of the team respawns, Average Pillow has now gone down and will be now respawning. Cartman still with the Panopticon, Average Pillow still with the Panopticon. We're about to see another Sundering Blade ready from Squid as well. Hoping to just push them off of this forward spawn.
Yeah, NAU knows they don't need to win these fights, so might as well try to just buy for as much time as possible. You don't want to take a 3v3 when you can wait, do a 5v5, and take up more time.
Exactly. We've only got a minute left, and there's Cartman's Panopticon, which does lead the way for Lemonade's death, and then that's followed by Huge and the Immortality Field going down.
Average Pillow doing their best to survive, but it fears that it is all for naught. We've got 56 seconds left, and we have a very long ways to go for this payload.
Exactly. Unlikely, I think, that we'll be seeing as strong in overtime. But NAU now still having 2 ults, both their DPS ults. ISU just having that Panopticon heading into this fight here. And with how close both enemy spawns are, time to reclaim land's not going to be high.
Excellent Panopticon. It falls onto nearly everybody, but they're able to get out of line of sight, and so we're not able to follow up on that damage.
Cartman just chewing through, followed by that Sojourn ult. And we are approaching the very end here of this push map. Just desperately trying to hold it with 10 seconds left on the timer. But Swagger Egg does go down, which is not what you want to have happen right here.
They use their own sound barrier,
and
plus their Sundering Blade. Unless Lemonade can do the most incredible play that I've ever seen in the history of Overwatch.
She
can't blame her for not.
That Squid right at the end there got a triple with the Vendetta. And that is going to be a win for NAU. We're tied right now 2-2.
I mean, NAU has simply come alive in these last 2 games.
They have.
Flashpoint was incredibly close, back and forth. Push, they just got a very large lead, and we couldn't pull it back.
Exactly. Multiple times we did end up winning the fight and getting the robot thing. It walked back the entire way. But again, it's just not enough on push.
Yeah.
You gotta hold it, and we couldn't hold it when we hit the middle.
And I think the team is going to take a brief break before their next match, perhaps.
It looks to be that way.
Yeah, so I think we will probably do so as well.
Head into
to also make
match
sure that we
point.
can get into that game lobby with our observer. And so we will be right back for Game 5 of the Big Sky Qualifiers Semifinals.
Yes.
Winner will face UC Davis in the finals for a chance to go to Waco, Texas.
Very exciting. We shall see you then.
Welcome back to Game 5 Semifinals Big Sky Qualifiers. ISU versus NAU 2-2. ISU went up 2-0. NAU clawed back that flashpoint map, barely being able to get that 5th flashpoint. And then Coliseo felt like a different team. It was
pretty handedly was to NAU's favor.
Yes, absolutely. So we've had, I think, one game that was extremely close, and then Oasis and Kings Row were like significant ISU, and the Coliseo was significantly in the favor of NAU. Shambali, we've already played against NAU at Shambali once before, earlier in our broadcast.
Yeah, just match right before this, and it was incredibly close.
Yes.
Incredibly, all down to one team fight at the end there. So we'll see then which way this match is going to swing.
And ISU decided to pick that map. I think a good call since we did win it last time.
We
so
did.
That gives us a little bit of confidence boost. And in some interesting bans, ISU has decided to ban Vendetta, which it makes sense.
It does
But
to
it
get her out of
is-
there, but also it's still, you're still getting rid of her.
Yeah.
We get, like, both teams have gotten such value.
Yeah.
But I guess the Venture, I'm pretty confident it's going to be Venture on Huge. Will be running the Venture. It's
Yes.
going to work out better without the enemy Vendetta.
Yeah, I think so as well, because they've just been able to dive so effectively, so efficiently, so frequently in that last map particular. And now we go, all right, well, we'll swap out our dive because we can play Venture at a very, very high rate. Can you do something else at that equally high rate? I guess we'll find out.
Exactly. And we do have the ban for NAU, which is the Brigitte, which I think is a bit strange. We saw a bit of Swaggerig on that Brigitte. I think mostly it's just to get rid of the rally.
Yes.
More than anything. And also I feel like what else would you ban at this point
Yeah,
without being a detriment to yourself?
I mean, the only other thing that you could probably ban is Lucio, but they're running Lucio.
They're running Lucio.
And you're not going to ban Domina because you've been able to, you
I
just
believe
saw a lot
they've
of success
banned
with Domina.
Domina
Yes, that's
already.
already correct. Yes.
They also-
Having played a team twice makes bans impossible to keep track of.
I don't know when's what.
especially back-to-back. Anything other than back-to-back in the future. And so I think that ISU needs to just stick to their game plan because
Yes.
oftentimes when teams kind of get blown out, they get rattled and they want to
Exactly.
change something up. They want to modify. They want to go. Let's go poke. Let's go brawl. Let's go something other than what we're doing. And we saw so much success with what they were doing. The rest of the day, I would be cautious about swapping up too much.
I think that it's worked so well at this point, and you've shown that you can be able to pull together enough to fight against this, especially with them not having that vendetta of their own
Yep.
and trying to respawn with the same characters. We should be able to do this. We should be able to hold strong and win this.
I think so as well. And it's just one of those things where you've seen so much very strong play from ISU. The only thing that I don't want to have happen, win or lose, is that idea of like comms going quiet and people getting in their heads. Gotta play. At the end of the day, it's a delightful, fun little qualifier. And I think if ISU just relaxes, plays into it, plays their game, plays with each other, supports each other, I think they've got this.
I think so too, and we are seeing hearing again going into this more, conversation happening with the players in the room. So I'm hoping that's a good sign, some high morality after we come back on this break, that we can pull back and push in the same way we have been.
Did you say high morality?
What about it?
Well, typically...
high morale.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
it.
Yep.
Listen, I don't have... maybe it also would raise their morality. Who knows?
That's entirely possible.
Who knows what else they might do?
Great point. Great point. On NAU side, we see...
Pottery.
Some similar things and some wild differences. We have Wet Noodle, who's gone on to that Life Weaver, and we have Squid onto Reaper.
Last time we saw Reaper on NAU, it was Kynan running the Reaper, but we have changed which DPS is going to be Reap.
Nailed it.
It doesn't work when you shorten it not to just his full name. I'll call him Gabriel.
Okay, Wet Noodle swapping off to the Kiriko. That makes a little bit more sense. Those players messing with casters during spawn times. Giving me hope that we have something weird.
But no, we don't.
And we're going to set up basically the exact same way that we did last time, and it paid off pretty well. We were able to hold him here for quite some time.
We were indeed.
So we'll have Domina on this high ground with most of the rest of our team, and then Venture down on that lower ground to be able to apply pressure and make sure that they can't just get the point for free. Reaper's kind of coming around. Oh, Venture, Huge is in a very dangerous spot right now, able to get out just barely.
Sticking with a pretty high health bar too on that leave. We are seeing as well this start to Shambali compared to last time when we started on defense, where we pushed it far enough that NAU wasn't able to get much movement early on. They have gotten
Reaper
a little
is
more.
So low.
He doesn't have Wraith anymore though, so that's a lot of his exit strategy's gone. But we do have Lucio v Lucio, and our Lucio has lost.
Yes, unfortunately. We see that they are trying to push point. Average Pillow is very, very low. Lemonade dinking all over the place, but not able to secure a kill. Everybody has been low.
Coming back to try and get some more damage when they peek out of this building here. Is getting some good hits in. That Squid is gone so low on Reaper. Sorry, I'm Gabriel Reyes so many times. But he's clinging to life, still alive, even as low as he still is.
And forcing Lemonade off of that high ground onto the point to make sure that it doesn't go uncontested. So Lemonade now on the low ground, but very easily able to move with various jumps and abilities that Sojourn has.
We do already have Average Pillow with the Panopticon ready to go. Yeah, using it
and there it goes. That is a very powerful combo.
Right down this hallway as they're all lined up here. We did have Wet Noodle popping the Kitsune Rush, Diane popping that Matrix, but doesn't really matter. They do get, Lemonade does get to take down that enemy Sojourn, and Average Pillow finally killing Gabriel Reyes. I'm gonna keep calling him his full legal name.
Why not Reaper?
It's funny.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I have to find ways to amuse myself. These are very tense. This is a very tense game.
There are some very intense moments. That is absolutely correct. Now, what I liked about that last fight is that we weren't greedy. We got the kill that we knew we could get, and then we pulled out, and then we cleaned up the rest later on. Reaper diving down onto Lemonade, able to get that kill. That Sound Barrier providing that extra overhealth necessary. Yep. We lose Diane, and now is a 3v5. Swagger Egg getting low. Average Pillow still okay, but without any supports or healers, it is hard to imagine being alive for much longer.
Yeah, huge chilling, just trying to contest a little bit here, but quickly finding themselves not in a very defendable situation. Going back into this.
But still, only 60 seconds remaining on the clock. That is a better hold than we had in the first map on that point. And so last time we were able to hold on this second corner for a good while as well, and we were able to force them into overtime before they took the second point. I think they're going to get a little bit further. I don't know if we'll be able to hold them at that corner or not. Nope, it looks like we'll get right onto that corner just in time.
We do have Cartman using that Graviton Surge, Diane popping the Immortality Field over top of it, plus
that Sound Barrier, an incredible response!
That Sound Barrier right at the last moment to really maximize that usage.
Able to take down Kane, able to take down Wet Noodle, able to take down Annoyed Green.
Everyone but Gabriel Reyes!
Holy cow!
20 seconds left, pushing a little bit further, just getting this payload a little further away from this checkpoint as we head into this, what I assume will be the last fight. before this checkpoint.
Yeah, they've got 10 seconds left. They will certainly be able to touch with this Lucio, but it may not be everybody's here just yet. So there's 3 seconds.
Yeah,
Reaper ult on point.
Both that Sojourn ult and the Reaper ult. It does take down Average Pillow, and Wet Noodle chasing down and taking out Huge, which is not a great way to start this.
It looks like they're backing up. They're going to let him take the point. We've pushed it into overtime. There's no need to try to just throw bodies onto the point. There's nothing else that we can be gained, and we're not going to win that fight 3v5.
We do have Wet Noodle with the Kitsune Rush on ready to be used. ISU is about really close to 2 more ultimates after this Panopticon. We've got Lemonade pretty close and Diane pretty close.
Yeah, Lemonade on this corner, just kind of peeking, seeing if that Lucio ever gets out of position. Here we have the Kiriko Rush.
And that Gabriel Reyes teleporting straight into the team there.
There's that Panopticon as well. Lucio's low. Reaper is low. Swagger Egg goes down. Cartman goes down.
We did have some trades there, but about still in ISU's favor here. All that's left is that Lucio and Gabriel Reyes.
There's a 2v3. It looks like NAU is going to give this up and reset here.
We have about a minute and a half left, under halfway through this checkpoint.
A really, really great use by that Panopticon for Average Pillow. Just absolutely shutting down. And again, they're taking the targets. They're not getting greedy. They're not going after everybody. They're saying, we need to kill this Zarya. We're going to kill this Zarya, and then we're going to regroup and figure out what we need to do after that.
Also, great usage of these beam shots. Here is Gabriel Reyes once more pushing straight up ahead and then immediately bailing, but does create the space for his team to follow behind him. But there's the enemy sound barrier. Diane's Matrix coming out, but we do have Huge with their ult and Lemonade still with the Sojourn ult in the back pocket.
Sound barrier has wrapped up. We've traded a support for a tank. You probably take that trade most of the time.
Yes.
We are all split all over the place, though. We take out Annoyed Green that evens up our supports, and NAU is probably going to reset yet again.
Yeah, Average Pillow is on the lookout for the scattered remains.
What an incredible shot!
Taking down the Kiriko through the window there.
Absolute. Knowing that the Kiriko is low, they're probably going to teleport to a teammate. Teammate is in that building. Absolutely great prediction. Or on the off chance that it is just luck, incredibly lucky, and that's wonderful as well.
Nothing but a boon to have. About halfway through to this next checkpoint, 20 seconds left on the clock. We still have that Sojourn ult, but Cartman is about to get that Graviton Surge.
Popping up, forcing that first Zarya bubble. Zarya does have Graviton Surge.
Lemonade
there goes that Graviton Surge.
Reyes. Lemonade popping that ult as the Zarya ult goes out. Zarya's
so low. Zarya goes down.
And the Sojourn and the Lucio. It's just
Lemonade gets another and a very strong hold for ISU's defense.
Incredible.
That is significantly improved. They got the first checkpoint and the first corner. Last time ISU did this, we were able to complete the entire map with still about a minute on the clock. And that, if we could do that again, that'd be pretty good.
We did manage.
That'd be pretty good.
Yes, last time we did this, both teams did finish the escorting the payload. And so we had to go into another overtime. But this time around, we didn't have to do that. So ISU just has to beat that moment. Just has to beat the distance, and they've got it.
They've got 4 minutes, and I think that the biggest trouble is going to be that first corner. We saw it in both games. Ooh, we have another replay. Here's Huge with that first. This was after the Graviton Surge as everybody just turned. What an incredible team play right there.
Yeah, we hear the dings get higher in their pitch as it gets better and better.
Is that what it is? I've never made that connection of higher dings.
The higher pitch? Yeah, that means you got more kills. Like more of the enemy team is dying in a row.
I've never made that connection. I've played this game since 2016.
That's just like how sound design works.
Well,
in most things. That's not Overwatch is not unique in doing that. That's just the score racking up.
Well, I always thought it was the same pitch. We don't need to worry about it.
Wait,
we don't need to worry about it.
Wait, not just you didn't make the connection between the kills and the pitch changed, but that the pitch didn't change?
I've never noticed it. I've never noticed it.
That's crazy.
We've got an Overwatch game. We've got an Overwatch game, and that's the important thing
I'm more baffled by that than most of these plays.
ISU deciding to not try to opt into the corner. It looks like Reaper is out of position, able to Wraith form back, and Swagger Egg is
running
dead.
Away. He doesn't Wraith form too far out before he starts trying to fight pick another fight with Huge. So Lemonade does get the death shot on Gabriel Reyes there. He's going to be having to walk all the way back.
So this is a 4v4. Swagger Egg is going to be returning very soon. There he is. So now it's a 5v4. We have a numbers advantage. They're still down 1 DPS, but it'll be back soon. It looks like they're trying to push it a little bit onto damage onto Dominic. It's very, very low,
yep,
but not able to...
I was just barely not
able to
getting
get that
the kill on Cartman.
But perhaps in something that you're
Lemonade,
equally fine with, they are able to take that space, which is as good as a team fight.
It is. They are, leaving some of the team definitely far back enough. Gabriel Reyes in the back, but Lemonade getting so much of his health down. He has to Wraith form out of there. We do have a Sojourn on the side there. This cart is being pushed up very quickly here. And there goes the enemy Sojourn. Already now 4
and Huge on this flank.
They haven't looked. They haven't changed focus to him yet. He's just diving in down here.
Really putting a lot of pressure on these supports. Forces out Suzu. That means that they're going to be vulnerable here for the next little while. And then Kiriko goes down. Lemonade takes her down. This is a pretty good opportunity here.
Cartman's Panopticon going out, but Cartman is so low, he doesn't last long anyway.
Keenan is down as well. It is just a Reaper on point at 80%.
Goodbye, Gabriel.
That is an excellent start. 4 minutes and 37 seconds to get it about halfway through this point. Just get to that golden box of victory, and ISU is on to the finals.
ISU having just about all five ultimates ready online in a very long time to not have to push this card that far.
Yeah.
Very doable.
Based on where NAU is at, based on where the payload is at, there's probably going to be one full team fight, and then there's probably going to be one where people are staggering in. So if they're able to just use everything and get around this corner.
First ult usage here with Diane popping that Matrix, does get the kill on
Lemonade
Cartman
gets the first kill. Cartman goes down. Keenan is low. Keenan goes down. Sound barrier's too late. It's a 3v5.
We got our sound barrier and that... Oh my goodness, and Huge with the sound barrier. We had Huge with the Venture ult. We had our own Panopticon, and we had Gabriel Reyes trying to Death Blossom, and it doesn't even matter.
Let's go.
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal push.
An excellent showcase in mental strength there for ISU. After going down and losing quite significantly in Colosseo, being able to go, look, we know we can do this. We've beaten them before. We can do it again. We've just got to play our game. And they did exactly that.
They played the game. Incredible usage of that last team fight, having all 5 ults. Very good usage of when to use them, when not to. Most of the times you don't see with that much restraint with all 5 ults online.
Absolutely wonderful. That means that there's one game left. It is the championship, the Big Sky Qualifiers.
Yes.
And it is going to be ISU versus UC Davis.
Which we did play as the first round of the day.
Was our very first match. ISU lost that 0-3, but this feels like a different ISU team.
This feels like a very different ISU team. I feel like a lot of the mistakes that we saw them make against UC Davis to start are mistakes we aren't making anymore now. I feel like we have only gotten a lot better throughout the day. That was a very good win for morale.
Yes.
Morale, not morality.
Yes, also
to
that.
Be going into these finals here. Spirits are high.
Absolutely. And I imagine that we'll get started here pretty quickly because UC Davis has been waiting for the game for a bit now because they did not have to play their semifinals match.
They're semi-forfeited.
So we're going to go on a quick break here for just a little bit. Make sure that we reset all of our graphics and things, and then we'll be back as soon as we can for this championship match.
Yay!
Goodbye.
Bye.